Before we get started reviewing this, I just want to bring up that somehow I saw that this idiot, Kyo, managed to pick up the fucking Nakiri. I have no idea how. It was very odd. Anyways, let's talk about the Zippy Lucha, or the ZLucha. The Zippy Lucha is a rehandle of the Kershaw Lucha's blade. The Kershaw Lucha being a bearings Balisong with steel handles, and if you know anything about Balisong balances and metals, you know that steel handles, except for the canyon, are just absurdly too heavy, relative to the blade especially, but just in general, steel is heavy, unless it's crazy milled out like the canyon. Now, there are also Flytanium rehandles that are aluminum, as well as titanium rehandles. I've not flipped either of those, but I do have a steel Lucha, and it's just extremely handle bias. That said, I actually don't know why the Lucha has so many rehandles, but I guess the Lucha blade is known to be a good EDC knife. It is legitimately, Kershaw is known for having like good knives. It's just not a good Balisong flipper. But hey, it's a really great EDC. Now the Zippy Lucha though is a fun, very, very funky Balisong. It is, to my knowledge, the only plastic handles on a steel blade. Every other plastic handles I've ever seen have been on, I guess, mostly plastic blades. So the Jimpy Tux, I think, is some form of, I think maybe carbon fiber. I don't know. The handles are not metal, and the blade is titanium. Point is, though, this is the only steel blade plastic handles. Zippy Lucha, these handles are very grippy, and they come in quite a different number of options. They're also Chanwich design. It's hard to show up the Chanwich line, but trust me, it is Chanwich. And there is positive jimping, as you can see here. I don't think it's like, okay, you can kind of see the Chanwich now. I don't think it's like super grippy, but it's like 3.5-ish ounces. It's actually lighter than the Ghost, fascinatingly. G10 is just a heavy material. So the Zippy Luchas oh yeah, that's weird. I saw it was like $59, and now it's showing, oh, that's why. So yeah, the cheapest you can get Zippy Lucha handles, $59. However, there are a number of different configurations. What's interesting is that there are also spacers that are kind of like the Cycloid HC, where you can just pull them off. But these are rounded. I don't know if this is a V1, but then also on the Zippy website, there's like dual tone, which shows this, and there's also like this interior spacer. Frankly, I legitimately don't know. There's just a lot of options. You can get tritone, which is $21 extra, dual tone, which is $14 extra. Top and bottom colors are different, so you can get your Chanwich mismatching slabs. That's cool. That's the same price actually. Bite handle and safe colors being the different, and handles being all the same color. You can also get mud pack pattern and puzzle pattern. You can get pitted texture versus glassy and reflective. You can just get it's wild. There's just so many options. You get the spacer colors, bite marker colors. You can also add slim caps for a discount. It's quite, like, Zippy honestly offers some really, really good products and just really good deals with a lot of customization and a lot of, like, he's just got great customer support too. Also, very clearly says don't use ThreadLocker. It has a prompt that says ThreadLocker voids warranty, and you click the prompt that says I will not use ThreadLocker because it will fuck this up. So, with handles being $60 at cheapest, you can honestly get a Zippy Lucha with the blade. I don't know. I think you have to get your own blade. I think maybe you used to be able to get the whole thing assembled, but I didn't see it on the site last I checked. And so, yeah, I don't know. You would have to like acquire your own Kershaw blade, but most people, there's honestly a ton of secondhand sales of different handles. Usually there are more handles floating around than blades, as you can imagine. But if you buy used fly tie Lucha reblades, or just a Lucha itself, you can rehandle it with a Zippy Lucha. I will say that while it is grippy, it's not like, there are some textures that I think the corners are just a wee bit coarse for my taste. They're still very, for the most part, comfortable and grippy. It is also just unlike any other flipping experience, and just plastic is just a very different material. It's It's bouncy, it's grippy, it's arguably a little spongy, at least if you give it a squeeze, you know. It just sounds very different. And the blade gives it a very unique weight distribution, because a lot of times plastic Ballies are like really tall, for example. I don't have all of them near me, but the Ghost, as you can see, is like, oh, actually the Ghost is, maybe the ZLucha is just long. I think the Lucha is also just long in general. But anyways, a lot of times plastic blades are really wide and have a lot of end weight with ball bearings or brass rods inserted inside. The metal, you know, a completely metal blade, you can use this as a real blade too. That's kind of the thing. Thanks Stream Soda for also taping all of his live blades so I don't lacerate myself. But yeah, this is just a very funky and unique flipper. If you are someone in the market for a variety of weird, if you want diverse collection, like I've actually started to find myself starting to hone in on certain types, mostly neutral, somewhat light, and like sort of whatever. But like that said, I would not say no to owning one of these. I would have to go out of my way to acquire one, but it is fascinating and fun and weird, and you can do whatever you like. This is legitimately a good Balisong flipper. It's just odd. It is also on bearings, so do be aware that if you don't like bearings, that's a thing to be aware of. But frankly, like I don't really even feel, I don't know. I think a lot of people hate on bearings, and like I think if you give them a fair shot, that's fair. You can just not prefer bearings, but I don't know. I think bearings can feel really good, and this feels good, and you can like, you can do whatever the fuck you want on these, and you'll ace it, as long as you're comfortable with knives that are 3.6-ish ounces. It's a little less than that. But yeah, I think Zippy made a really cool, unique product. I don't know if he ever plans on doing re-handles of other Balisongs. Like, I could see, I mean, he has a bunch of like spacer stuff for the replicant. It could be really cool to see if there were ever like entire rep handles or Kraken handles. I don't even know what else like people would rehandle necessarily, but yeah, I think this is fascinating and weird and honestly very affordable. Like $60 for a set of handles at the cheapest. Obviously you can pay more. It can be closer to $100 if you get all, you know, everything that you could possibly add, with different textures and different colors and all that stuff and such. But that said, fair price, and if you want to find them on a secondhand market, you could probably find a ZLucha not too hard. They're really cool. They're very weird. If it's not your thing, probably uncontroversial. This is definitely one of those things that, like, if you don't like it, that's totally not unusual. It's odd. It's very odd, and but despite its just the fact that it exists, the fact that it is just plastic handles with a steel blade, the fact that it's bearings, the fact that it's just a bunch of different elements, it's still really good. I think it's really fun and it's really unique. It's probably not my go-to flipper, but I certainly wouldn't mind picking it up here and then for spicing things up. It's just strange and unique. I really appreciate this. So thanks again to Cream Soda for lending me this Balisong, the ZLucha, as well as like 3 other Balisongs that I'll get to. Like, comment, and subscribe. I will link the ZLucha handles store page. Check out the coffee in my description. A little bit goes a long way. Helps me cover shipping, you know, because this is a temp trade, so I gotta ship to and from. Like, subscribe, click that bell, and all the other things. I'm trying to get to, I'm almost at 400 subscribers, and I'll probably do a giveaway at 500. So yeah, I'll see you all then soon. I still need to do the giveaway now. I just have been pushing it back because I was like at the eclipse. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and happy flipping. If you do flip this, let me know in the comments what you think.